Kayla King, and welcome back to my channel. Or if you're new, welcome. It's been another week, and I did find time to write, though I didn't accomplish all of my writerly goals that I was hoping to get through by the end of the week. But progress is progress, and I'm nonetheless excited by everything I was able to put down on the page this week. Hello, it is almost 1 o'clock on Wednesday afternoon, and I'm getting ready to return back to work from my lunch break, but I was able to do a little bit of research as far as some mythological retellings, and I was finally able to get some words on the page for the epigraph that is going to open section 2 of my WIP. I'm really excited about it, but I think I need to let these words sit for a little bit. I'm thinking right now that I need to add more, and since the purpose of these line edits is to cut as many words as possible, I just want to make sure that I'm not doing any unnecessary drafting. Often I think the best thing we can do as writers is give ourselves the time and space to process the words we've written and to really make sure they are the best words possible. So that's what I'm going to do. Now that this is done, I'm even more excited to finish chapter 11 and to move on with section 2. Now, there are quotes about best laid plans for a reason, and while I had put down on my calendar that I would be working on chapter 11 on Thursday, my sister did ask me to go to Barnes & Noble with her, and let's be honest, I can never turn down a trip to Barnes & Noble, and I'd also found about $90 worth of gift cards for Barnes & Noble a few weeks before, so it seemed like the perfect time to take a little break to return to my love of reading. First book I purchased is a newer release, and it's Greek Myths, a New Retelling by Charlotte Higgins. And this goes right in line with the books that I ordered from Amazon recently, all about Greek mythology. I also purchased a novel called Sorrowland by Rivers Solomon. Next up is a book called Dreaming of You by Melissa Lazota Olivia, and it's a novel in verse. And the cover of this book is terrifying and intriguing, and I really can't wait to dive into this one soon. Next up, I grabbed a paperback book called The Escapement by Lavi Tidhar, and this was on a table specifically for speculative fiction, and since my WIP is speculative, I figured this might be the perfect comp title as I get closer to the query trenches. I also picked up a book called D, A Tale of Two Worlds by Michael Faber, and really the thing that drew me in was Neil Gaiman's blurb on the front that said glorious. Neil Gaiman is one of my favorite authors, and this book already sounded intriguing, so I picked it up, and this is another one that I'm really excited to read. And last, but most certainly not least, I did pick up the first volume in a graphic novel series called Homesick Pilots, and this first volume is called Teenage Haunts. What really drew me to this were the pops of color on the front. It really reminded me of the style of Paper Girls and also The Wicked and the Divine, two graphic novel series that I already love. As I get reading these though, I'll let you know how all of them are. It is about 10 after 1, and I'm finally getting around to taking my lunch break, so I figured this would be the perfect time to get some line edits done on chapter 11. I've gone ahead and grabbed my Dreamer journal just to see where I left off with line edits on Saturday. I'm also going to be taking the hard copy of my manuscript down with me. It's the one that I've already added to this binder. You can see here it's got lots of post-it notes marking where I have different chapters. Let's see how much progress we can make today. just about over, but I was able to cut 344 words from chapter 11. I do still have some placeholders and some sections where I need to expand the scenes a little bit, and I'm excited / nervous to add in a new scene between my main character and her father. If you've been following along, you'll know that the scene I added in chapter 10 between my main character and her mother really became a pain point for me over a couple weeks, and it did take me much longer than I expected to finish it. But here's hoping the rest of the edits in chapter 11 go smoothly so that I can jump into chapter 12 before the end of the week. Good morning. It is almost 10 o'clock on Sunday, and I'm just getting ready to sit down and hopefully finish chapter 11. I have my best friend / muse / dog Tux with me. He's going to be behind me on the bed snoozing, but he's been a little needy this morning, so I figured I would hold him for a few minutes. And I'm really excited to dive in today. For today's writing session, I do have a cup of coffee in my Elpis mug. I also have my Felix Gray blue light blocking glasses, which you'll notice I wear in just about every writing session when I'm on my laptop. I also have my Dreamer journal, which has a lot of the notes that I'm going to be referencing for chapter 11. And I go into a little bit more detail about this notebook in my last video, in which I walk through my entire planner system. So if you haven't watched it yet, go ahead and check it out. Today's writing session also feels a little bit more special because I do have two specific pieces of jewelry that I've chosen to wear. Even though I'm in an oversized crew neck sweatshirt and really cozy for this Sunday morning, I do have this tiger's eye ring, which I don't know how well you can see it, and I also have this, I think it's amethyst necklace. It looks Edwardian or Art Deco. And yesterday, while I had planned to get writing done, it turned into more of a self-care day. I spent the whole day with my mom and my grandma, and we played Scrabble. I lost, and we played 2 hands of cards, and I lost both hands. But then we went through all of my grandma's jewelry, and she gave me so much of my great-grandma's jewelry, the woman for whom I, kind of stole her last name for my pen name and just feel so connected to. So this piece was one of her rings. It's a tiger's eye, and she also gave me this necklace. So it just feels extra special to be wearing these today while I sit down to write chapter 11. So let's see how much progress I can make. That's going to be a wrap for my Sunday writing session. I was able to add about 200 new words to chapter 11, and I also finalized the epigraph for section 2, and I'm really excited about that. So although I didn't finish chapter 11, which was a big goal for this week, the progress I did make is really putting me in a good position to finish that chapter and move into chapter 12 and chapter 13 in the week ahead. It certainly was an interesting week with a lot of ups and downs, and I'm still processing everything that happened last weekend with my beloved dog passing away. And it's an uphill battle every day. Life isn't always perfect or easy, but we must keep going. So here's hoping the next week it gets a little bit better. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And remember, no matter where the day takes you, dream big.